Russia says U.S. will not be at the center of New World Order, and Kremlin says U.S. can't build New World Order that Biden spoke of. Turkey's president submits protocol for Sweden's admission into NATO to Parliament for ratification. U.S. renews warning it will defend Philippines after incidents with Chinese vessels in South China Sea. Korea's Hanwha Systems wins $34.5 million deal to supply combat system to Philippine Navy. Bitcoin increases with ETF hope for the first time since 2022 over $35,000. SEC today approved Grayscale Ethereum ETF filling, Nature AC confirms. Asylum claims jump at Canadian airports after Ottawa eases some visitor visa requirements. Venezuela sets referendum on annexation of Guyana territory. In Mexico, 12 police officers from Cuenca de Benitez, Guerrero been murdered, among them the head of security of the municipality. Pwaz's ads creep onto Hulu, Peacock and Max, as streamers seek new revenue. Reliance Industries nears acquisition of Disney's India operations. The Rock asks Paris Museum to update skin color of waxwork after statue was roasted by fans. Mission Impossible 8 delayed to summer 2025. A Quiet Place prequel moves to summer 2024. Paddington 3 finally confirms November 2024 release date. Aquaman 2 only had 7 or 8 days of reshoots, says James Wan.
In Switzerland, right-wing populists strengthen hold after elections. Switzerland's populists promise less political correctness after election win, as the Swiss Populist Party rebounds and the Greens sink in the election. 7 of the 9 men running for House Speaker voted to overturn the 2020 election results. Thousands of people are cutting off their hair and donating it to help soak up an oil spill in Venezuela that is so large it can be seen from space. As per four-party EP opinion, the reform of the Hungarian judicial system is insufficient. The money tap should not be opened.
Biden says we can talk about Israel-Hamas ceasefire after hostages are released. Captured Hamas terrorists claim, we were told whoever brings a hostage gets $10,000. It had been reported that Red Cross to receive 50 hostages with dual citizenship. 2 Israeli hostages released as efforts intensify to free people held by Hamas. Pentagon says it will hold Iran responsible for attacks on U.S. troops. Iraqi government rejects Tehran-allied militia attacks against U.S. troops. White House says Iran actively facilitating some attacks on U.S. military bases. Top Iranian diplomat says U.S. asked Iran not to interfere into Palestinian-Israeli conflict.
Former Cork postman sentenced after 6 sacks of undelivered post found at home. In Australia, NSW's casual teacher shortage affects nearly 10,000 lessons a day.
Olympiacos vs Panathinaikos football match abandoned after player hit by firework. Reddit removes moderators involved in alleged insider trading of moon tokens. Afghanistan seal historic win over Pakistan in Cricket World Cup 2023 in India's Chennai. Hamilton and Leclerc disqualified from United States Grand Prix for technical breach. New York's American Museum of Natural History to remove human remains from exhibits, including some from indigenous and enslaved black people. 6 paintings stolen from former Medemblik Town Hall, dropped off at art detective's home. Bobby, the world's oldest dog ever, dies aged 31.
UAW union just ordered 6,800 workers to strike a massive Ram truck facility. A Stellantis plant shutting down big profit center, 41,000 workers now picketing. U.S. says it wants forfeiture billionaire Russian oligarch's $300 million super yacht, known as Russian Gatsby.
Tennessee law restricting drag shows unconstitutional, federal judge rules, and officials can't interfere with local Tennessee Pride Festival under anti-drag law. Nigeria's paramilitary raids birthday party for gay people, 76 arrested.
Israel shows Hamas Bataclan attack footage to journalists. Obama warns some of Israel's actions in Gaza may backfire. Israeli diplomat in Ireland deletes tweet suggesting Ireland funded Hamas tunnels in Gaza. A war crime, AOC condemns both Hamas attacks and Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. Nearly 24 journalists killed in Hamas-Israel war. Runaway tortoise found 5 miles from home, 3.5 years later. Pink reveals she almost died of a drug overdose as a teenager. Lottery winner who used winnings to buy pool table now set to represent England. Trump vows to ban immigrants who don't like our religion. Trump compares himself to Mandela and rails against Biden after filing for New Hampshire primary. Roman Catholic Diocese warns that fake priests are preying on California parishioners. King Charles urged to use his direct hotline to President Joe Biden to expose the truth about UFOs. George Santos told a NYT reporter his niece was kidnapped by Chinese communists, but an official said he made it up.
More than 1.3 million Canadians left emergency rooms without being seen in 2022 and 2023. Swiss pharma giant Roche to buy bowel drug maker Televance for $7.1 billion. Australians to pay more than $100 to visit a doctor for a standard non-bulk billed appointment, as cost of doctor's appointment to rise for third time this year. Microsoft fixes Excel feature that forced scientists to rename human genes. Martin Getz, who received the first software patent, dies at 93. Connie Booth leaves PlayStation after 34 years. Higher levels of empathy may increase risk of inflammation, study suggests. Observational studies of antidepressant use and suicide risk are selectively published in psychiatric journals. Longer rugby careers are linked to higher risk of brain injury.
Burning sugarcane possible cause of mystery kidney disease in agricultural workers, as inhaled silica nanoparticles cause chronic kidney disease in rats. EPA proposes to ban all uses of cancer-causing contaminant TCE, trichloroethylene.
It had been claimed that the indirect effect of vaccination in Japan during 2021 was very large, with a vaccination program reducing mortality by more than 97%. Inflammation in severe COVID linked to excess gut fungi. Maternal COVID-19 vaccination offers infants immunity for up to 6 months. Liquid-cooled PC with real human blood, lined up as Diablo IV giveaway. Pole dancing skeleton causes uproar in Utah town, not acceptable. Over 10 years after it was announced, single-player game of Star Citizen Squadron 42 is feature complete.
NVIDIA is reportedly working on ARM-based processors for Windows PCs. Urban Outfitters will sell you a vintage iPod for $350 to celebrate the device's 22nd anniversary. White House announces 31 tech hubs to focus on AI, clean energy and more. Apple, caught by surprise in generative AI boom, to spend $1 billion per year to catch up. Apple's job listings suggest it plans to infuse AI in multiple products. Apple could spend $5 billion on servers to catch up in AI race. FTC plans to hire child psychologist to guide internet rules. Microsoft to help Australia build Cyber Shield, Anthony Albanese announces in Washington. In Australia, police questioned on why they allowed Hong Kong officers to visit Cyber Center. Americans' net worth surged by a record 37% from 2019 to 2022. U.S. Treasury 10-year yield breaches 5% for first time since 2007. Google Wallet now lets you share boarding passes, complete with web access. Myrna Kickstarter pulls in more than $150,000 for new phone, with a built-in privacy switch. Google Chrome's new IP protection will hide users' IP addresses. Rapid melting in West Antarctica is unavoidable with potentially disastrous consequences for sea level rise, study finds. Parched Mexico City starts restricting water. Nestle, Volvo among 130 companies urging COP28 agreement to ditch fossil fuels.
China, Bhutan strive for early resolution of border issue, promote political process of establishing diplomatic relations, as Wang Yi meets with Foreign Minister of Bhutan Dr. Tandi Dorji. U.S. Republican Senator Jeff Wilson arrested over carrying gun into Hong Kong, barred from leaving city. Shanghai Oil, Gas Exchange settles first cross-border trade, in ECNI. China announces export restrictions on graphite, an essential material in EV battery production. Chevron to buy Hess Corp for $53 billion, in second oil mega merger in weeks. Chevron boss says, the $300 billion oil giant has changed life on Earth for the better, we're not selling a product that is evil. Royal Navy ends tradition of Chinese laundrymen on warships over spying fears, they are being replaced by Nepalese Gurkhas. Spy director says Canada blocked Chinese acquisitions over espionage concerns. Glenn Greenwald and David Miranda were illegally spied on by a BIN, Brazilian intelligence agency, of Bolsonaro, says PF of Brazil 7 years ago. UK had ruled, detaining the partner of Snowden leaks reporter, Glenn Greenwald's partner David Miranda, lawful.
2024 Tesla Cybertruck won't offer the promised $40,000 single motor setup. Suzuki unveils four-wheeled mobility device that can climb stairs. Colorado law would charge owners for driving giant, pedestrian-crushing trucks and SUVs.
NASA sets coverage for the spacewalk of Roscosmos, outside Space Station. NASA is struggling to open its asteroid sample container. The moon is 40 million years older than thought, lunar crystal study suggests.
SpaceX will launch ESA navigation satellites amid delays with the EU's own rockets. Salman Rushdie receives prestigious German Peace Prize.
The police has stopped pro-Israel rally in Golders Green in London, due to safety fears. Emmanuel Macron will discuss the creation of a Palestinian state and the cessation of colonization. Also, Macron delivered to Herzog, "Our number one goal is the release of hostages." Chair of G7, Japan opts not to sign statement by 5 leaders supporting Israel.